It's been too long. Lina, Washington. What's going on with you, girl?
What's up, guys? I'm sorry, I'm literally in Sacramento International Airport right now. Just touched down. I will be enjoying the game for fun tonight, so I'm
Nice,
excited to be
nice.
back. Already got my restaurants and friends lined up that I'm trying to see. You two are starting it off, so pleasure to see both of you.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and rapping with us for a little bit. I didn't even give you the proper introduction. Lina Washington of 12 News. And you guys are in Phoenix, right? I
Correct.
always say Arizona, but it's Phoenix specifically. You went back home, but we know you here as ABC 10 legend, Lina Washington. And you got a pretty exciting time since you've been back there. You've been to an NBA Finals immediately. Now Kevin Durant is there in Phoenix, even though they're kind of waiting for him to get back and they're going through their struggles. Still a good time to be covering the Suns and be a Suns fan right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, and we had this little thing called the Super Bowl that happened just last
There's
month
that. I
in
took
in,
I blocked that
in
out of my mind, Lena. The Niners didn't make it, so I just blocked that out of my mind. I
I
wasn't
feel
worried.
you. Well, hey, we are rooting for Brock Purdy homecoming for the kid from
Right.
Gilbert, but obviously Hassan Reddick had other plans. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's been an incredible almost 2 years now of being home, and I would always say, as a Suns fan living in Sacramento for the longest time, we were as fans right there in terms of the level of misery and lack of
Mm.
playoff experience, I guess, in recent years. So to see both the Suns and the Kings doing so well right now is exciting for me. But I just hope both teams have fun tonight, guys.
Teams having fun. Come on now. Lena, like, first of all, like, it's so good to see you. It's been a long time. And of course, Lena did the Boards for Change, which people remember here in
Yep.
Sacramento, just
Yep.
absolutely amazing in the community while she was paired with my guy Sean Cunningham. What do you expect from this Suns team? Because they've been so hit and miss. You can either look at them as a title contender or someone who, if they can't stay healthy, they're not going to be around very long.
Yeah, absolutely. I think after last year's exit in the second round in Game 7 against the Mavericks, I think Suns fans are a bit on edge as far as what this team can do in the playoffs and how far they'll go. With a healthy Kevin Durant and a healthy Devin Booker and a healthy Chris Paul, they are absolutely title contenders,
Mhm.
or at least they have a good shot to make it out of the West. As best a shot as any team, but they've lost 5 of their last 6 without KD. You're losing, obviously, with the trade, 2 key players in the last several years of this success, which was Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges. And Suns
Mhm.
fans miss them, but at the end of the day, it's Kevin Durant, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how these last 10 or so games play out and if they're able to stay healthy in the postseason, because losing Booker last year to start the playoffs in New Orleans proved to be pretty tough. I don't think anyone expected that series with the Pelicans to go as long as it did. But I think there's a level of excitement surrounding this team, especially with the new ownership and Matt Ishbia, that I think will have Suns fans feeling energized and optimistic, but we're just so used to being crushed on the big stage as Arizona sports fans. So we're really bracing for anything.
You're listening to ESPN 1320, KIFM West Sacramento and Odyssey Station. D'Lo and Casey, brought to you by Sky River Casino with 17 different restaurants and bars like 32 Brews. Sky River Casino has something for everyone. We're talking to Lena Washington of 12 News in Phoenix, but everybody here knows her best for all her great work at ABC 10. It's good to see her back in the fold. And Lena, one of the things that we talk about a little bit here in Sacramento with the Kings doing what they're doing and having this dream season and on the brink of breaking that 16-year playoff drought is everything is golden right now. I forgot what movie it was. It was like one of those Pixar movies or Disney movies where they go, everything is awesome. It was the Lego movie.
Yeah, the
That's
Lego
what,
movie.
There
the
it
Lego
is.
movie. That's how it is here in Sacramento. Everything is awesome, right? And we're
Everything is
enjoying.
cool when you're lighting the beam.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
no, no, look at the light in the
There we
beam. That's
go.
what I'm talking about right there. And we're having such a great time. We're enjoying this, right? And we tell people all the time, have fun with this, enjoy it, because this is probably the only year it's going to be like this. Because once you get past this, there's going to be expectations. And I think about the Phoenix Suns. In the first year that they, were good, they ended up going all the way to the finals. It seemed like it was just euphoria. Everybody was having a good time. But now, 2 years removed from that, there are the whispers of, we need to do this to get better, and we're wasting our opportunity, we're wasting our window. Do you feel the same type of thing going on from that first year where everything was awesome to we need to get this done before we lose our opportunity?
Oh, absolutely. There are certainly parallels there. I don't think anybody in 2021 expected the Suns to be playing the Bucks in the finals, but when you reach that level, the players are hungry to get there again, and they know how hard it is. And then, like we saw last year, I mean, they had a franchise record-setting season. They had this winning streak going, most wins in a single season for the franchise, and then the way they went out was so disappointing that I think a lot of fans were wondering how much longer is this window going to be open. I remember, all the conversations around Chris Paul and his longevity in this league and wanting to get him a ring before all is said and done. But I think it's refreshing for fans in Sacramento to have expectations, to have fans leaving a summer league game predicting 40 wins and have that actually realized. So I'm all for enjoying the moment. And then again, seeing this level achieved and having expectations moving forward. I think when you have a guy like De'Aaron Fox who's experiencing this level of success for the first time and he's the head of the snake, you are going to be in good hands because he's not going to want to let this moment or this experience go to waste. So I think right now everything's coming up roses, and I think any winning season is one to be celebrated in Sacramento, but one where you're going to make it to the playoffs is absolutely one to, I'm not going to blame anybody for having a parade on K Street just for getting past the first series or winning the first playoff game, to be honest with you.
Lina, how excited are you to be back in Sacramento and feel the excitement that this fan base has been waiting on for so many years? And you talk about like the lighting of the beam, if somehow they beat the Suns, tonight, all that stuff, just you have to, from the outside looking in, the vibe has to be really cool as someone who was here for so long.
There she goes. You hear
Yes, I can hear you now. I'm the one going to bat for Sacramento and the Kings in the newsroom, and it's kind of funny because in the early going of the season, I was kind of telling my coworkers that, this is cool that they're experiencing success, but it's kind of their mode of operation to kind of fall off after the All-Star break or after the trade deadline. That's kind of how we've seen the trend in recent years. And then that didn't happen. And it's been kind of my feather in my cap of knowing how hungry this fan base is and knowing how rocking Golden One Center is going to be when a playoff game does happen there. But now it's kind of funny. My coworkers like to take what I'm saying from my, 4 seasons of covering the Kings, and they'll be like, oh yeah, the Kings aren't going to do anything. They're not scary. They're not this, they're not that. And I'm thinking, well, they do have 4 guys in Utah for the All-Star break, and the Suns have 1 only because they traded for him. And they did win the last, I think, 2 matchups, is it, in the series? So I think they are a team to be worried about. And I can say those things because I cover the team, and I know the fans, and they would be self-deprecating right there with me. But to see the excitement, the whole light the beam sensation phenomenon, I think, is really cool to get fans hyped. And I will always say the most hype I've seen Golden One Center was actually for the California Classic post-game concert with T-Pain right outside with the sculpture outside on the grand entrance. And I kid you not, everyone was jumping up and down and so hyped that I thought the ground was going to cave in. But that is what I
remember. That it was shaking.
Yeah, but that was a summer league game in Sacramento. So if that's the level of energy that people are bringing, then I can only imagine what April's going to look like.
Doco's going to be a madhouse in a good way.
Yes.
Lina, I want to talk about the Suns just a little bit. We mentioned that they lost 5 of their last 6. Kevin Durant has been hurt. They mentioned today that he may be back next week, so they're definitely going to need him coming back. DeAndre Ayton isn't on the trip. He's not playing. Well, what do you think about this team? Do you think that it's as simple as they're just trying to, get to the playoffs and everything will be good? Or is there going to be a little bit of a buffer time where they need to figure out how to play with Kevin Durant and incorporate him into what they try to do as a team. And now they've got this issue where Monty Williams, it seems like every night it's talking about they don't get respected with the fouls. Like, what's kind of the state of the Phoenix Suns right now?
Yeah, right now it's in a bit of disarray, to be honest with you. I think the free throw disparity has been a topic of conversation for the last week or so, particularly when they're matched up with the Bucks. You can see the disparity. I think I actually did the research, and it was like 6 of their last 9 matchups. Giannis had more free throws than the entire Suns team combined. So that's going back to the 2021 finals. But in terms of the state of the team, I think they're fine with Kevin Durant and incorporating him. They were super successful when he was just getting started in the Charlotte game and the stretch of games that he was healthy. And Devin Booker was able to do what he does best, which is score. He's been on a tear. But I think the depth of this team is really going to be the concern. And Monty's had some admitted difficulty in finding rotation and playing guys and going to, 10 guys or 12 guys and trying to find a group that can really be cohesive together on the court. You have Landry Shamet, who just came back from an injury. He hasn't played for several weeks as well. So you have guys that are trying to get their wind. You have guys that are new to the system, and Terrence Ross and TJ Warren, who's coming back to Phoenix, but just trying to figure out the rotations and the spark that's going to be coming off the bench. Typically that was Cam Johnson, and now it's kind of a 6-man by committee almost when you look at what they have when they don't have Kevin or Landry or DA available. They're exhausting a lot of their options, and I think that might be the biggest challenge for them down the stretch.
Lina, Bismack Biyombo versus Domantas Sabonis. Your thoughts?
Well, I hope Domantas doesn't try Bismack like Marquise Chris did, because he learned the hard way. Probably not the guy you want to go after. But that is going to be a fun physical matchup, I think. Bismack has done so well since coming back to the Suns. His story and getting back into the fold in the NBA is really incredible, and he has been a key member of this team, especially with DA missing time. But I'm looking forward to seeing Domas in person, because I haven't been able to see him in person, I don't think. And the way that he and Fox play together, I'm looking forward to that matchup, of course. I think a lot of people are, with the former Kentucky player going up against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Lina, we appreciate you taking the time out. I know this isn't home. You are from Phoenix, but you got love out here. We treat you like this is your home. So you come here, you're always good. We appreciate you taking the time to rap with us, and enjoy your weekend.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me. It only took me moving out of Sacramento to be featured on the hottest radio program in sports radio, but it's always good to see you both.
I don't even think this show existed when you were still here. So, if it existed, you definitely would have been on here. You know that.
I got you. Well, yeah, I'm excited to see you both. Shout out to Sean also. He was out at spring training, so he got to link up, but I'm excited to see all of you and hear Scott Moak on the mic tonight at the game.
Absolutely.
Sweet. Cookies are on me tonight.
Fantastic. I was going to ask who's going to be the cookie plug, because I'll tell you what, they're not the same in Phoenix. All respect to the culinary staff there.
Lina Washington, 12 News, Phoenix, formerly ABC 10, and always love here in Sacramento. Thank you, Lina. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.